The Great Severance. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elias Wright rose to address the assembly. 3,000 representatives from across the known universe watched as the human diplomat straightened his formal attire and cleared his throat. The massive circular chamber, with its soaring crystalline dome that revealed the stars beyond, had never felt so tense. After 3 centuries of membership, Elias began, his voice steady despite the gravity of his words. Earth hereby announces its immediate withdrawal from the Galactic Council and all associated treaties. The chamber erupted. Dozens of species shouted in their native tongues while translation devices struggled to keep pace. Some representatives stood in outrage, others slumped in apparent despair. High Counselor Genva, a tall, azure-skinned Nefarian, slammed his ceremonial staff against the floor 3 times, bringing reluctant order. Ambassador Wright, Genva's voice resonated through the chamber. This is unprecedented. The Charter of Worlds does not permit unilateral withdrawal. The economic and political consequences would be catastrophic, for Earth most of all. Elias maintained his composure. We understand the consequences, High Counselor. Earth's decision is final. From her position aboard the EDF Intrepid, Captain Maya Chen watched the broadcast with a mixture of pride and apprehension. The Earth Defense Fleet's newest destroyer floated at the edge of the Sol system, its engines humming with readiness. Maya's orders were simple but momentous. The moment Ambassador Wright finished his address, Operation Severance would begin. Captain, her first officer, Commander Jackson, approached with a tablet. All ships report ready status. The quantum barrier generators are at full capacity. Maya nodded, her eyes still fixed on the broadcast. The barrier technology was Earth's ace, developed in secret over the past decade, a direct violation of Council technology restrictions. The Council had kept humanity technologically hobbled for centuries under the guise of responsible development, while extracting Earth's abundant natural resources and exploiting human innovation. How long until the barrier can fully encapsulate the system? Maya asked. 4 hours at current deployment rate. The lunar bases are already shielded. On screen, Ambassador Wright was concluding his address. Earth did not reach this decision lightly. For too long, the Council has treated humanity as a resource to be harvested rather than an equal partner. Today, we reclaim our sovereignty. The broadcast cut off as Wright turned and walked out of the chamber, ignoring the chaos erupting behind him. Maya straightened. Send the signal. Operation Severance is now active. Throughout the Sol system, hundreds of quantum barrier satellites activated simultaneously, creating an energy field that would make Earth and its colonies effectively unreachable without permission. The technology had been deemed too dangerous by the Council, capable of disrupting the very fabric of space-time. That hadn't stopped Earth's scientists from perfecting it in secret underground facilities on Mars and Europa. Captain, we're receiving multiple transmissions from Council vessels near the edge of our system, reported Lieutenant Quan from Communications. Ignore them, Maya ordered. Any Council ship that attempts to cross the forming barrier is to be considered hostile. For generations, Earth had provided the galaxy with its most precious resource, human ingenuity. Human scientists had solved problems that had stumped other species for millennia. Human artists created works that moved even the most emotionally distant races. Human diplomats bridged cultural divides thought unbridgeable. And yet the Council had classified humans as a developing species, denying them equal representation and restricting their technological advancement. The final straw had come 6 months earlier, when the Council had rejected Earth's petition for full membership for the 7th time in a century, while simultaneously increasing resource extraction quotas from Earth's colonies. Captain, Council warships detected at the edge of the Kuiper Belt, Commander Jackson reported. 5 Nefarian cruisers and 3 Vexor destroyers. Maya's jaw tightened. They responded faster than expected. Are they within barrier range? Not yet. Estimated 20 minutes before they reach the outer barrier edge. Hail them, Maya ordered. The face of Admiral Krevtor, a reptilian vexor with obsidian scales and vertical pupils, appeared on screen. Captain Chen, by order of the Galactic Council, you will cease this illegal operation immediately and surrender your vessel. Maya maintained a neutral expression. Admiral, Earth is no longer under Council jurisdiction. Any attempt to enter the Sol system will be considered an act of war. Your primitive weapons are no match for a Council battle group. Krevtor hissed. This rebellion will end before it begins. Perhaps, Maya replied calmly, but I suggest you scan the barrier technology before making threats. Your scientists will confirm that attempting to breach it would result in the destruction of your fleet. The Admiral's eyes narrowed, but Maya could see uncertainty creeping into his expression as his officers presumably reported their findings. This technology is forbidden, he finally said. The Council will not. The Council's rules no longer apply to Earth, Maya interrupted. You have 10 minutes to reverse course, Admiral. She cut the transmission before he could respond. They're scanning the barrier intensively, reported the science officer. They know we're not bluffing. 12 tense minutes passed before Commander Jackson announced, "The Council vessels are withdrawing, Captain." A collective sigh of relief rippled through the bridge. This was only the beginning, Maya knew. The Council wouldn't give up easily on its most valuable member world. 3 weeks after the Great Severance, as it was now being called, Maya's ship docked at the Mars Colony Development Center. The massive underground facility had been Earth's primary secret research hub for decades, hidden beneath the red planet's Olympus Mons. General Anita Rodriguez, head of Earth's Unified Military Command, greeted Maya personally. The Council has called an emergency session, Rodriguez said without preamble as they walked through the facility's sterile corridors. Our intelligence suggests they're facing immediate economic consequences from our withdrawal. That was expected, Maya replied. They relied on us for everything from advanced algorithms to entertainment, not to mention the resources from our colonies. What wasn't expected, Rodriguez continued, was how quickly some species would break ranks. The Arcturians have already sent unofficial envoys requesting direct trade agreements. They entered a vast chamber where hundreds of scientists worked on various projects. At the center stood a massive device, a swirling vortex of energy contained within a complex framework of unknown metal. "Is that what I think it is?" Maya asked, her voice hushed with awe. Rodriguez nodded grimly. "Project Horizon. The real reason we left the Council." "Dimensional gateway technology," Maya whispered. "They said it was impossible." "They said a lot of things were impossible for humans," Rodriguez replied. "They've been lying to us for centuries about our potential." The dimensional gateway promised unlimited resources from parallel realities, a technology the Council had supposedly abandoned as too dangerous centuries before humans joined. But Earth scientists had discovered mentions of it in restricted archives and had spent decades working to recreate it. "It's not stable yet," Rodriguez admitted, "but once it is, Earth will never need to trade with the Council again. We'll have access to resources they can't even imagine." A scientist approached, looking nervous. "General, we've detected unusual energy signatures from the gateway. It appears to be responding to something." Rodriguez frowned. "Responding? To what?" "We're not sure. But it seems to be forming a connection to somewhere else, something we didn't initiate." The gateway's energy swirled faster, its color shifting from blue to a deep purple. Alarms began to sound throughout the facility. "Evacuation protocol." Rodriguez barked into her communicator. "Seal off this section." Maya stared at the gateway as its energy pulsed rhythmically. "General, I don't think that's a malfunction. It looks deliberate." Before Rodriguez could respond, the gateway stabilized, its energy forming a perfect circle of shimmering purple light. And through that circle stepped a figure, humanoid but clearly not human, with silvery skin and eyes that seemed to contain galaxies. At last, the being said in perfect English, "We make contact. For centuries, We have waited for humans to break free from the Council's chains. Rodriguez signaled security to hold their positions but remain alert. Who are you? We are the precursors, the being replied. Those who came before the Council, before their empire, before their lies. And you, humans, are our descendants, seated across dimensions eons ago. Maya felt as if the floor had dropped from beneath her feet. Our descendants. That's impossible. The precursor smiled. The Council has hidden much from you. Why do you think they kept humanity restricted for so long? They recognized what you were becoming. They feared your potential, the return of those who built the gateways they now forbid. Rodriguez and Maya exchanged stunned glances. If this being spoke the truth, Earth's severance from the Council was far more significant than anyone had realized. The Council will come for you, the precursor continued. They cannot allow you to reconnect with us. They cannot risk the truth spreading through the galaxy. What truth? Maya asked. That their entire empire is built on stolen precursor technology, that they have suppressed countless species who might threaten their dominance. That humanity's rapid evolution frightens them because they recognize in you what they destroyed to gain power. The facility trembled slightly as the gateway's energy fluctuated. I cannot remain long in this dimension, the precursor said, but we will help you prepare. The Council has already dispatched their shadow fleet, ships that officially do not exist, to neutralize Earth before you fully realize your potential. How long do we have? Rodriguez demanded. 2 of your months, perhaps less. But now that contact has been established, we can provide you with the knowledge to defend yourselves. The precursor held out a crystalline device. This contains information about technologies the Council has kept hidden for millennia. Maya found herself stepping forward to accept the device. As her fingers touched the crystal, images flooded her mind. Blueprints, equations, concepts beyond current human understanding yet somehow familiar, as if she were remembering rather than learning. We have waited so long for this moment, the precursor said as the gateway began to pulse erratically. Earth is not alone in its stand against the Council. Other species will join you once they see the truth. The gateway's energy surged, and the precursor began to fade. Prepare yourselves. When the Council comes, they will bring everything they have. They cannot allow the return of what came before. With those words, the being vanished, and the gateway collapsed in on itself, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. Maya looked down at the crystal in her hand, then at General Rodriguez. I think, she said carefully, we're going to need a bigger fleet. The message was clear. Earth's severance from the Galactic Council wasn't just about independence. It was the first shot in a war for the truth, a truth that could reshape the galaxy and reveal humanity's true place in the cosmic order. The Council had controlled the narrative for thousands of years. Now, humanity would write its own destiny, with the help of beings from beyond dimensions who claimed kinship with them. Operation Severance had become something far greater than anyone had imagined, and Captain Maya Chen found herself at the center of a cosmic revelation that would either elevate humanity to its rightful place among the stars, or lead to its complete destruction. The Reckoning. 6 months after Earth's departure from the Galactic Council, Captain Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of Proxima Station, the first human outpost established beyond the quantum barrier. Through the reinforced viewport, she could see the swirling nebula that marked the border between Earth-controlled space and what they now called Council territory. The beauty of the cosmic vista did little to ease the tension in her shoulders. The latest intelligence reports, Captain, said Lieutenant Quan, handing her a secure tablet. Maya scanned the information, her expression darkening. 12 systems facing complete economic collapse, food riots on Bellis Prime, medical shortages in the Rigel sector. She set the tablet down. The Council is making sure everyone blames Earth for their suffering, while hoarding the remaining supplies for the core worlds. Quan noted. The outer colonies are being left to starve. This had been the unforeseen consequence of Earth's departure. While humanity had prepared for isolation, stockpiling essential resources, and accelerating production of previously restricted technologies. Many Council worlds have been utterly dependent on Earth's exports. Particularly devastating was the sudden absence of Earth's medical innovations, which had been the backbone of galactic healthcare for generations. "Any updates on Project Horizon?" Maya asked, referring to the dimensional gateway technology that had led to their encounter with the precursor. General Rodriguez reports stable connections established with 3 parallel dimensions. Resource extraction has begun, though carefully monitored to avoid detection. The dimensional gateways had proven even more revolutionary than anticipated. Earth now had access to worlds untouched by intelligent life, pristine sources of resources without ethical complications. More importantly, they had established communication with precursor enclaves in 7 different dimensions, each providing technological insights that advanced human understanding by centuries overnight. Maya's communicator chimed with a priority alert. "Chin here. Captain, this is Commander Jackson aboard the Intrepid. We've intercepted a Council transmission. The Shadow Fleet has mobilized. Estimated arrival at the quantum barrier in 72 hours. Maya's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. "Understood. Implement Poseidon Protocol. I'll return immediately." She turned to Quan. "Prepare my shuttle. The Council has made its move." As Maya hurried through the station's corridors, she passed civilians and military personnel going about their duties, blissfully unaware that the fragile peace was about to shatter. The Poseidon Protocol was Earth's contingency plan for a full-scale Council assault, a plan that would test the limits of their new technologies and alliances. Within an hour, Maya's shuttle was racing back through the quantum barrier toward Earth. As the blue sphere of humanity's homeworld grew larger in the viewport, she couldn't help but reflect on how quickly everything had changed. 6 months ago, humans had been second-class citizens in a galaxy that exploited their creativity while limiting their potential. Now they stood on the precipice of either a new golden age or total annihilation. Her shuttle docked at the orbital defense platform Zeus, where Earth's military leadership had gathered for an emergency council of war. The station hummed with activity as officers rushed to implement defense protocols. Inside the secure command center, General Rodriguez greeted Maya grimly. "The Shadow Fleet is larger than we anticipated. 217 warships, including 3 dreadnoughts. They're not even pretending this is a diplomatic mission." A holographic display showed the approaching Council Armada, a vast collection of ships from multiple species, all converging on the Sol system. "Have they issued demands?" Maya asked. "Just one," Rodriguez replied. "Unconditional surrender and dismantling of all quantum barrier technology. They're claiming the technology threatens the stability of space-time itself." Admiral Warren, commander of Earth's defensive fleet, joined them. "They're not entirely wrong," she said. "The barrier does manipulate space-time. What they're really afraid of is that we've discovered the truth about the precursors." "Speaking of which," Rodriguez said, lowering her voice, "our precursor allies have provided something new." She led Maya to a separate room where a single object rested on a pedestal, a small pyramidal device pulsing with soft golden light. "What is it?" Maya asked. "They call it the Nexus Key," Rodriguez explained. "It can temporarily disable any technology based on stolen precursor designs." "Which is virtually everything the Council uses," Admiral Warren added. Maya stared at the device. "A kill switch." "For the entire Council fleet." Rodriguez nodded. "But there's a catch. It has to be activated from within the flagship of the Shadow Fleet." "An infiltration mission," Maya said, immediately understanding the implications. "The most important infiltration in human history," Rodriguez confirmed. "And you're the only one who can do it, Captain. Your mind has formed the strongest connection with precursor consciousness since first contact. You can operate the Nexus Key." Maya felt the weight of responsibility settle over her. "How do I get aboard the flagship undetected?" "That's where our other allies come in," Admiral Warren said with a small smile. To Maya's surprise, the door opened to reveal a tall, elegant alien with iridescent scales and 4 arms, An Arcturian diplomat. Maya recognized her immediately. Ambassador Telsel. I didn't expect to see you here. Captain Chen. Telsel bowed gracefully. Earth is not as alone as the Council would have you believe. Many of us have questioned the Council's policies for centuries. Your break with them has created an opportunity for change. The Arcturians have formed what they call the Orion Accord, Rodriguez explained. 7 species secretly supporting Earth's independence. More importantly, Telsel added, we have operatives aboard the Shadow Fleet. They can get you onto the flagship. The plan was daring to the point of insanity. Maya would pose as a captured human scientist being transported to the flagship for interrogation about Earth's barrier technology. Once aboard, Telsel's operatives would help her reach the ship's central command hub, where the Nexus key could affect the entire fleet simultaneously. If this works, Admiral Warren said, we disable their fleet long enough to demonstrate our full technological capabilities. Best case, they retreat and are forced to negotiate. Worst case, I don't make it off the ship, and Earth faces the remaining Council forces alone. Maya finished. There is another option, Rodriguez said quietly. We could strike first. The dimensional gateways give us access to resources they can't imagine. Our new weapon systems could cripple their fleet before they reach the barrier. Maya shook her head. And confirm everything they've told the galaxy about us, that humans are too dangerous to be trusted with advanced technology. No, we need to show restraint. Prove we're not the threat they claim we are. The room fell silent, as everyone considered the stakes. Finally, Admiral Warren spoke. 48 hours until the Shadow Fleet reaches striking distance. If you're going to do this, Captain, we need to move now. Maya took one last look at the holographic display showing Earth, peaceful and blue. Everything humanity had built, everything they had dreamed. All of it now rested on a single infiltration mission and a mysterious precursor device. I'll need a fast ship and a convincing capture scenario, she said. 20 hours later, Maya found herself in a detention cell aboard the Nefarian dreadnought Inexorable, flagship of the Shadow Fleet. The capture had gone according to plan. Her scout ship had apparently suffered a quantum drive malfunction near the rendezvous point with the Arcturian operatives, allowing a Council patrol to detect and board her vessel. She had been questioned briefly by junior officers, but they had accepted her cover as a civilian scientist who had stolen a military vessel to escape Earth's militaristic regime. Now she waited, handcuffed to a bench in the sterile cell, for the next phase of the plan. The cell door hissed open, and 2 guards entered, followed by a tall Vexor in an ornate uniform. Maya recognized Admiral Krevtor from their encounter months ago, during the initial implementation of the quantum barrier. Captain Chen, he said, his reptilian features unreadable. How convenient that you should fall into our hands just as we prepare to reclaim Earth for the Council. Maya feigned confusion. I'm not a captain. My name is Sarah Jensen. I'm a research assistant at the Mars facility. Krevtor laughed, a harsh sound like stones grinding together. Our bioscanners are quite thorough, Captain. Did you think we wouldn't recognize the human who defied a Council battle group 6 months ago? He leaned closer. Where is the dimensional gateway? Maya's heart skipped a beat. They knew about the gateway. Somehow, the Council had learned Earth's greatest secret. I don't know what you're talking about, she insisted. The Council has known about humanity's interest in forbidden dimensional technology for decades, Krevtor said. It's why we've kept such close watch on your species. Your ambassador Wright's Theatrix provided the perfect opportunity to move against you before you could perfect the technology. A new voice spoke from the doorway. That will be all, Admiral. Maya looked up to see a Nefarian in the distinctive robes of the High Council. The Admiral immediately straightened and saluted. High Counselor Genva, Krevtor acknowledged. I was just beginning the interrogation, and now you are ending it, Genva said smoothly. I will speak with the human alone. After the Admiral and guards reluctantly departed, Genva studied Maya silently for a long moment. Then, to her shock, He deactivated her restraints. "We don't have much time," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "The Arcturian operatives have been compromised. We must move quickly." Maya stood, rubbing her wrists. "What are you doing?" "What I should have done centuries ago, standing against the Council's executive committee." Genva produced a small device and activated it. "This will scramble the surveillance systems temporarily. Listen carefully, Captain Chen. The council you broke from is not the true council as it was founded. It has been corrupted from within by those who fear the return of the precursors." Maya stared at him in disbelief. "You know about the precursors." "Some of us have preserved the true history," Genva said. "The precursors did not disappear. They were systematically exterminated by the founders of the current council regime, who then built their empire on stolen technology." "Why are you telling me this? Why help me?" "Because humanity is our last hope," Genva said simply. "You have made contact with the precursors across dimensions. You carry their genetic legacy. What the Council truly fears is not your technology, but your birthright." From his robes, Genva produced the Nexus key that Maya had been meant to smuggle aboard. "Your Arcturian allies managed to pass this to me before they were discovered. I can take you to the command hub." "Why would you betray your own people?" Maya asked, still suspicious. "I am not betraying my people. I am saving them from a corrupt leadership that has hidden the truth for millennia. This fleet's mission is genocide, Captain Chen. The executive committee has ordered the complete sterilization of Earth to prevent precursor influence from spreading." The enormity of the situation struck Maya like a physical blow. This wasn't just about Earth's independence or even about advanced technology. It was about preventing the complete annihilation of humanity. "What's your plan?" she asked. "The command hub is 3 levels up. I can get you there, but activating the key will trigger alarms. You'll have minutes at most to escape." Maya nodded grimly. "Then we'd better not waste time." Using Genva's authority, they moved through the massive dreadnought relatively unopposed, though each checkpoint increased Maya's anxiety. The ship was enormous, housing over 20,000 crew members from a dozen different species, all united in their mission to bring Earth back under Council control, or destroy it trying. Finally, they'd reached the command hub, a vast chamber filled with holographic displays showing the approaching quantum barrier surrounding Earth. The Shadow Fleet moved in perfect formation, weapons systems running hot, ready to attempt what many believed impossible, breaking through humanity's impenetrable shield. There, Genva pointed to a central console. "The fleet's command protocols route through that system. The Nexus key will interface there." Maya removed the pyramidal device from its concealment. As she approached the console, an alarm suddenly blared throughout the ship. "We've been discovered," Genva said tensely. "Hurry." Maya placed the Nexus key on the console interface. Immediately, the device began to pulse more rapidly, its golden light spreading across the control systems. Around them, holographic displays flickered and died. The deck beneath their feet vibrated as the massive dreadnought's engines suddenly cut out. "It's working," Maya breathed. Through the command center's viewport, she could see other ships in the fleet going dark, their running lights failing as their systems shut down simultaneously. The Nexus key had performed exactly as promised. Any technology derived from precursor designs was now temporarily disabled. "The effect will last only 15 minutes, Genva warned. "We must get you to an escape pod." They turned to leave, only to find Admiral Krevtor blocking their path, weapon raised. "Treason, High Counselor." "I never would have believed it." "The true treason happened thousands of years ago," Genva replied calmly, "when the Council murdered the precursors and stole their legacy." Krevtor's eyes narrowed. "Precursor sympathizers. I should have known." He aimed his weapon at Maya. "This ends now." But before he could fire, the deck lurched violently beneath them. Emergency lights flashed as a computerized voice announced, "Warning. Dimensional anomaly detected. Structural integrity compromised." Through the viewport, Maya could see a swirling vortex forming in space, a massive dimensional gateway opening directly in front of the Disable fleet. And through that gateway emerged ships unlike any she had seen before, vessels that seemed to phase in and out of reality itself, glowing with the same golden energy as the Nexus Key. The precursors, Genva whispered in awe. They've come. Admiral Krevtor backed away in horror, his weapon forgotten. Impossible. They were exterminated. Our histories were lies, Maya finished for him. The Council didn't kill all of them. Some escaped to other dimensions, waiting for the right moment to return. She turned to Genva. This wasn't just about disabling the fleet, was it? The Nexus Key was also a beacon. The High Counselor nodded solemnly. The final piece of a plan set in motion centuries ago. Humanity's break from the Council was the signal they were waiting for. The precursor ships surrounded the Disable fleet, not attacking but simply holding position. Then, every communication device in the command hub activated simultaneously, broadcasting a message that echoed throughout the ship. People of the Galactic Council, for millennia, you have lived under leadership that built their power on genocide and lies. Today, the truth returns. We are the precursors, those who came before. We do not seek vengeance for what was done to us. We seek restoration, of truth, of balance, and of freedom for all sentient beings. Maya watched as the message continued, revealing the Council's true history, how a coalition of militaristic factions had overthrown the peaceful precursor guidance, systematically erasing their existence from history while exploiting their technologies. Earth is not your enemy, the message concluded. Humanity carries our legacy, but they are not alone. Many species have been suppressed when they showed signs of our genetic influence. Today marks the end of that suppression. The choice now is yours. Embrace truth and move forward together, or cling to lies and face the consequences alone. As the message ended, Maya felt a strange sensation, a pulling, as if something was calling her. The Nexus Key pulsed once more, and a beam of golden light enveloped her. They're calling you, Genva said with a sad smile. The precursors recognize one of their own. I'm human, Maya insisted, even as the light grew brighter around her. Yes, the High Counselor agreed. And that is exactly why you're so important. You are the bridge, Captain Chen, between what was and what could be. As the golden light intensified, Maya had a final glimpse of the command hub, of Admiral Krevtor fallen to his knees in shock, of Genva standing tall and vindicated, of the fleet drifting powerless before Earth's quantum barrier, and beyond it, her homeworld, blue and beautiful. Then the light consumed her, and Captain Maya Chen took the first step toward a new future, one where humanity would help rebuild the broken legacy of those who had come before, and guide the galaxy toward the unity it had lost millennia ago. Earth's severance from the Galactic Council had indeed caused the universe to spiral into chaos. But from that chaos would emerge a truth long buried, and with it, the possibility of a true galactic community built on equality and shared knowledge rather than exploitation and fear. The reckoning had come, and now the healing could begin.